What's going on today, YouTube? Today we got another video of the NFL season and record predictions. Today we got the Cleveland Browns, and as you can see, I'm going 10-7, but just slightly missing the playoffs at the number 9 seed. I think the Cleveland Browns have a very loaded, top-heavy roster with so much star power just infused in the roster. Got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, David Njoku is all right. Got Jedrick Wills, Wyatt Teller. Um, there's way more offensive linemen that I can't think of right now. And you got Denzel Ward. You got John Johnson. You have Grant Delpit, Myles Garrett, obviously. Jadeveon Clowney signed back. JOK. I already said Denzel Ward. Eric Stokes plays for the Packers. Who's the Greg Newsome? You have so much top heavy talent, but the depth is what really scares, especially at the quarterback position with Deshaun Watson being his entire NFL career being up in the air. So obviously that right now, as I record this, the suspension is just 6 games. This is before the Roger Goodell appeal comes to fruition, and we'll see what happens to Deshaun Watson at that point. But like I said, their offense is just loaded. Their defense is loaded. It's just what happens with Deshaun Watson, because if Deshaun Watson can't play the whole year or doesn't play ever again, even the Cleveland Browns are right back to having to find a quarterback without 3 first-round picks that they sent to the Houston Texans, so it's not going to be. Deshaun Watson ends up getting fried from the NFL. The Cleveland Browns are going to go right back to the old way Cleveland Browns with so much talent just wasted. Other than that, though, I think that's really the only super big thing about their season this year. I think Nick Chubb is the best running back in the NFL, so having him plus Kareem Hunt, who would probably be a starting running back on majority of the other teams, would still be a starting running back on the Kansas City Chiefs if he hadn't done what he did. So, like I said, their offense is just star-studded. Their defense, Denzel Ward, is a super underrated corner. Just got paid. Myles Garrett, I think, is the best pure edge rusher in the league. T.J. Watt is close, but I think T.J. Watt offers more in the coverage ability and a little bit less in the pass rush ability. I know T.J. Watt just almost broke the sack record, but Myles Garrett will have that year one year where he just goes completely off. And the Steelers' defense also complements T.J. Watt's strengths really, really well. Onto their schedule, or their record, I have them Week 1 beating the Carolina Panthers. I was going back and forth on what this game should be, because obviously, CMC is going to be healthy. You have DJ Moore. Baker Mayfield's probably going to start. Robbie Anderson, a good, healthy offensive line. And then you get J.C. Horn back. You already have Dante Jackson. You have Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns, Derek Brown. So you just have a lot of healthy talent that's not normally healthy on that team. But I think overall I'm just going to stick with the Browns here. But I would not be surprised if Baker Mayfield throws for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns might be a little much, but in Week 2 I have them losing to the Jets. I think this plays into the Deshaun Watson being suspended, and it could play into the entire year. But right now, it's just until Week 6. Week 7, he'll be back against the Baltimore Ravens as of right now. But I think Jacoby Brissett really, really changes how high this team can really be, and it severely disables that offense. Jacoby Brissett, I thought when he was a third stringer in New England had a chance to be a really good NFL starter, and then once he went to the Colts, it just kind of has started going downhill from there. Week 3, I have him losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, just back to the Deshaun Watson thing. Week 4, I have him beating the Atlanta Falcons. I think no matter what, the Browns roster will overtake the Falcons roster. Week 5, I have him losing to the Chargers. If Deshaun Watson was playing in this game, it might be a different story, but he's not even at this point. Week 6, I have him losing to the New England Patriots. I just think, like I said, it just goes back to the Deshaun Watson thing. And then now here comes Deshaun Watson as of right now. Remember, I'm saying this as of right now. On August 8th, Deshaun Watson has only been suspended 6 games. So Week 7, I have him beating the Baltimore Ravens. I just think the roster is better if Deshaun Watson plays. I'm gonna stop mentioning Deshaun Watson now because he's playing. In Week 8, I have him beating the Cincinnati Bengals at home. I think in the dog pound, Browns pull this one out. In Week 10, I have him beating the Miami Dolphins. I think Deshaun Watson just outduels Tua Tagovailoa, and I mean that by saying the Browns score more points than the Dolphins, because the Browns defense is better than the Dolphins offense, and the Dolphins defense is not better than the Browns offense. That's super weird to say, but Week 11, I have him dropping the game to the Bills. I don't think I really need to explain that one. Josh Allen is a monster. Week 12, I have him pulling the upset against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think like I said, I just think it could be an upset. Week 13, I have him beating the Texans. Don't need to explain that one. Week 14, Week 15, I have him dropping both games to division rivals in the Cincinnati Bengals and Baltimore Ravens, respectively. I think in the Bengals game at home, the Bengals can easily beat the Browns. Obviously, you play better when you're at home, but I just think the Bengals offense at home is really, really explosive. Week 15, like I said, I have them dropping the game to the Baltimore Ravens. This series, the 2-game series here, is weird. I have the Baltimore Ravens dropping the game at home, then I have the Cleveland Browns dropping the game at home, so it could go either way. I mean, honestly, I could pick the Ravens here and then pick the Browns here, and it'll be the same thing. It doesn't really matter. But I think in Week 7, the Browns win no matter what as Deshaun Watson comes back, so I'm going to flip it back. Week 16, I have them catching the game against the New Orleans Saints. I just think the Browns roster can have a better ceiling than the Saints with Jameis Winston, the quarterback. I'm looking to see if it doesn't really change much in the playoff standings. Week 17 and Week 18, I have beating two very lesser opponents in the Commanders and Pittsburgh Steelers. Commanders, I just don't think Carson Wentz is the guy. I think you have a lot of talent, especially on that defense, but Carson Wentz just is not the guy anymore. And then in Week 18, I have him beating the Steelers. I don't know if any of the Steelers players or starters play in this game, as they were, if you saw the last video, 5-12. So this game doesn't really matter for them. It doesn't really matter for the Browns either, considering the number 7 seed is 2 wins up from the Browns, but we'll have to see. A lot of these games, like I said, can go either way. I think Browns could pick up this game against Baltimore. They could honestly win both. And then if all goes right, they could win Week 2 and Week 3 if Jacoby Brissett plays well. I don't think they have a chance of winning this game against the Bills. I don't think they have a chance of winning this game against Cincinnati at home. So those are really the only games. And then the Patriots game would be the only other one that I think they could switch on. So if they win this Patriots game, if they win this Jets game, this Steelers game, and this Patriots game, then these games really matter for a playoff spot. So other than that, I think that's it for the Browns. Just, the main thing on this season is finding out if Deshaun Watson can play. And then beyond that, if Deshaun Watson can play. If Deshaun Watson can't play, I feel so bad for Browns fans because they're going to go right back down the drain. They're not going to have a legitimate quarterback unless they can find a steal in the second, third, and fourth rounds. Maybe they can find a Russell Wilson or a Derek Carr or something like that in the next coming drafts. But they don't have a first-round pick for like 3 years, and it's because of the Deshaun Watson trade. I did see an article, though, the other day that said if Deshaun Watson gets banned from the league, that the Browns can void his contract for personal conduct reasons or whatever it may be. So at least they're not out to $235 million over the next 5 or 4 years, whatever it is. So that helps the sting a little bit. But honestly, I think Deshaun Watson is a really, really good player. Really stupid person off the field, but Deshaun Watson obviously when on the field is probably a top 6, top 7 quarterback. He's so talented and can do so much with the football and his legs. It's just I love Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson. I was so excited to watch him play in the NFL, and then he lit it up with the Texans the first few years, and then they traded away DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips. J.J. Watt left, so the Texans organization just went downhill with Bill O'Brien at the helm. So I was excited to see him, but once all this stuff happened, I mean, you can't really be excited. So make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to comment down below what you think I missed on this list and what you think I missed on any other videos if you've watched the other ones. And then subscribe to help the channel grow to places it has not grown so far. Peace.